Seems quite capable. Perhaps if you simply give him some time.
You are not free of blame here. You encouraged his foolishness, his confusion. I do not seek war. But if Odin has stolen my son, do not doubt the lengths I will go to.
Your nature has always been clear, Kratos. But you, Freya. War as a first resort. That's not the Freya I knew. I hope the Norns can give you the counsel you need. Perhaps mine is no longer of use here.
Tyr, stop. This is no time to divide ourselves further. Come, sit, please.
You have been quiet.
Frankly, I'm surprised you, of all people, would seek out fate. But your instincts haven't let us down so far. Let's find the Norns.
Who am I to offer him counsel? I only hoped to help the boy find his answers. And I failed. What's my role in all this now?
Tyr, you're at the center of this. You always have been. That's why Odin imprisoned you in the first place. He's terrified of you.
Does it hurt?
Oh, this? Only when I worry.
How would Atreus get to Asgard?
I'm sorry, but you'd have to ask Odin. He's got control of every path. I know how highly you esteem our expertise on such things, so I'm sure that's disappointing. He's just been one step ahead of us.
Purpose is the path that leads you to yourself.
Lead your armies into war. Secure your vengeance.
If securing our justice is not your purpose, then find another. For your own sake.
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you go traipsing off into the dawn, I thought you'd like to have this back. Well, don't go getting too cheery about it. But you're welcome.
I've collected what we need to find the Norns. Shall we go?
Madam Nithog?
Neathog, where have you
Neathog. I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Squirrel.
Ah, Master Kratos, my apologies. Madame Neathog's disappearance weighs heavily on my mind.
She a friend of yours?
Less a friend than another longtime tenant of the tree. She was here even before I arrived, and that was ages ago. To even think something could keep her away from her babies. Terrible, just terrible.
learned some new item recipes.
Thank you.
Lovely crystal work and those elven gifts you found. I'll be happy to pay you for them.
Lads, I thought death had cured me of my appetite, but damn if I can't stop thinking about the smell of Tyr stew. Awakened a fair few culinary... cravings did. Black pudding, haggis and neeps. Oh!
Porridge and honey.
What about you, brother? Any pre-Fimble winter foods you're aching for?
Olives.
The hell's an olive?
We found the Consul's journal.
Thank you, Kratos. It is exactly what we were hoping for.
The Consul risked everything to understand the mistakes of our past. And now those lessons can live on. Thank you, Kratos. The elves and we won't forget this.
They aren't liable to forget all the bloodshed between them either.
There's a path towards peace for all of us. Nobody said this would be easy.
I did it. I went back to the site of my wedding. Faced some old ghosts.
There's a day I hate thinking about.
Oh, your position is quite clear.
No. There was a day I chased you away.
Can this lock be opened without damaging the book? The elves in Freya's camp wish to read it.
Brock never met no lock he couldn't lick. I'll get this sucker open and pass it along to them elves with your regard.
So, Brock, if Lunda can step between realms to travel about like you, I presume it must be the guild you know each other from.
Maybe. Or maybe I just showed her a few tricks while we were tying one on.
Or maybe I showed him. You don't know us, Clever Pants.
Lunda, would you happen to know how your light and dark elf friends came to be involved?
You mean Big Fair and Baylor? Well, they were both in prison by one side or another, or maybe both. Escaped together, been on the run, and absolutely all over each other ever since.
A dark and light elf fleeing their people together. Quite a risk.
Being love's always a risk. That's what makes it fun.
You could say the same about hot cheese.
Is someone going to ask me if I miss the light?
Thanks for helping out my crew. I mean it.
I will speak. From birth, we are taught the light is everything. The elders say it is why we fight. But all of that? It's shit. I am more than the Hive. More than a soldier. Light elves, dark elves. All elves are the same. Stubborn. Brainless as moths, blinded by their light. I know better now. I looked into the shadows, and there I found my people. My home. There. That is all I have to say. You can go away.
Thank you for sharing. Looking for something? We can head out the way we came.
Reminds me of a Vanaheim song I heard long ago.
Exploring, Kratos.
we are certain Atreus could not still be in Midgard.
I was just there and found no trace. If Odin invited him, he must have provided a way.
No, that is not the only explanation. Tell me where we find these Norns.
I discovered some of their threads near the frozen lake. I stashed one for spellcrafting, but we may also use it to find them. Just remember, they really don't want to be found.
Well, at least things will be difficult for a change.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
Midgard. How I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Well, that's because they believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
From me, of course.
Of course.
Come. Quiet. She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns, we'll just need to follow their lead.
I will open the gate. Stop whining.
Their fur is matted. When did you last brush them?
They are wolves.
And matted fur leads to disease. Take care of them, and they'll take care of you.
Brother, what exactly do you intend to ask the Norns?
How I may find my son. Nothing more.
I don't imagine it's a chance to clear up all this mess about prophecy. Perhaps get a second opinion on your alleged demise.
You didn't tell me you had a death prophecy?
When Atreus and I reached Jotunheim, we found a hidden mural. The giants, Faye herself, had foreseen our entire journey long ago. Who we would meet, who we would fight. All of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the problem, is it?
No. Death can have me when it earns me.
Then maybe it's not the future that bothers you. Faye sent you on your journey, and she made sure you'd see that image at the end of it. And you're still not sure why.
I wish to speak of this no further. Now that we are on the lake, how will we find the Norns?
Watch the wolves closely. See how their heads point the way?
Well, the Lake of Nine has certainly seen better days. Raiders have made themselves quite at home. Not sure I've been back to these parts since our great battle with Sigrun.
She speaks highly of that fight as well.
You know of that.
She told me all about it when she found me. She believed you could be an ally. Long before I believed it.
Brother, what is it?
The wolves are distracted. Incoming fire!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Suspect that's all of them.
These were coal raiders. Infamous for...
Eating wolves. Atreus and I rescued ours from such an encampment.
That was... kind of you. The coal raiders have been a blight on this land. The way they've abused its creatures. Perhaps we should do something about them.
Perhaps.
Up to you, brother. If the Norns know the future, no doubt they'll expect us to show up a bit late. It is a rather comforting thought, isn't it? Knowing the Valkyrie Queen is on our side.
The Valkyrie Queen. An ally.
I'm the Valkyrie Queen, as Sigrun was stubbornly determined to remind me.
I should have guessed it was Sigrun helping you recover yourself. He's so loyal. Why? Clever. Oh.
And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Well, those Norns aren't going to find themselves. Back to the wolves.
Mimir, the way you still speak of Sigrun, it doesn't take a love goddess to see where you're coming from.
This thread of fate we are tracing.
It's not somebody's life, if that's what you mean. The Norns use it to mark their way when they're outside of the well.
The Norns live in a well.
No. The Well of Earth, their home, is hard to explain. It's in no fixed place. Entrances come and go. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes tangible.
No more for now. Focus.
Never seen craftsmanship like this before. Can't imagine how old it is. Now, where have we seen an artifact like that before?
Tears vault.
When you enter the Norn's domain, it can be disorienting. Like being inside your own mind.
But if we go in together, are we in each other's minds? Not so sure I like the sound of that.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns? But we will continue another time.
Have I encountered the Norns? No. Not personally. Freya's right. They have ways of discouraging visitation.
Enough talk for now. Be ready. I see it.
Nasty bit! You all right,
Can't do this without you, Kratos!
I see it.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Take it off, man! You've got this!
Switching arrows!
I see it.
Nasty, mate! You all right, brother? You're on fire, Kratos! Roger hole.
I see it.
Steady your guard! The Alpha!
You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
Did Odin seek the Norns?
Odin made his share of efforts. Wouldn't talk about what he found. Either he gave up, or he wanted to forget what he saw. There, you mind telling us what you experienced when you sought the Norns last time?
To be honest, the details are hazy. Like waking up from a dream. Mainly, I remember that nothing could be done to change my son's fate.
Quiet.
An abandoned camp.
Whoever was here left long ago.
What did you find?
A list of provisions needed to prepare a meal.
A recipe? Who left that way out here?
Let's take a look at the ingredients. Perhaps the recipe will lead us to them.
So the Norns told you nothing could change Baldur's fate. Hold. Let us search this area.
I knew I recognized those initials. The Ballad of Yari and Somar.
I'm not familiar.
An old tale, but a good one nonetheless. The carving marks their passage through this realm. You could always try and find the others if you're curious.
This is the right area, but we can't go further on the sled.
So the Norns told you nothing could change Baldur's fate.
They did, which only made me more determined to try.
Brother, what of your story? You faced the fates of your homeland, yeah? The legends I heard about the ghost of Sparta were surely exaggerated.
Hold! What is that?
That must be Tyr's helmet from the
Win
statue.
minds, not wars.
Tyr understood the greatest fight of them all was the battle for people's hearts and minds. Too bad Tyr has no interest in doing either these days.
Kratos, a raider encampment.
Shall we take care of them, brother? A nice knife. Shame it's rusted. You're on fire, Kratos!
That is all of them. So, you believe the tales of my deeds are exaggerated?
Oh, not in the brazen bloodshed righteous fury part. The part where it said you traveled...
They still whine.
Poor things. They can smell more danger.
The wolves fear that which can no longer hurt them.
The horrors of our past can be inextricable from the present. You have to understand that.
As I was saying, tales of time travel always strain credulity. I mean, a rumor about Thor knocking the world serpent back in history from Ragnarok is one thing.
It is the truth. The threads of fate span all life and time. The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic. Nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Aye, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience.
Another Coal Raider camp. Kratos, we should do something about them.
Watch the fire!
You're on fire, Kratos! Double fire!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Now maybe the wolves will cease their whining.
What's that?
Accursed wolves.
I grow tired of your lack of empathy for your own wolves.
It's Deimos, isn't it, brother?
I should not have told you, Deimos.
You see yourself in these wolves, in their fear.
Let us keep moving.
Is that a frost troll? He won't be happy to see us.
The Alpha!
Ha!